Hello YouTube, and welcome to week 1 of building Scarif in LEGO. Today we'll be starting with base plates 1 and 2. As you can see here, I have the base plates 1 and 2 fully built, minus a couple small details like larger crates, more troopers, as well as the missing 8 base plates in the rest of the full build. But what I do have is Rebels running out of this U-wing here, which is in its own video, as well as light post, palm tree, and moving around the side here, some little plant action and sand falling onto the landing pad, as well as, from a viewer comment that I saw earlier today, it's recommended that I add stripes into the actual pavement to show more markings of where the ships shouldn't park and where like crates and other large boxes or luggage should be placed. Moving around to the side here, we can see more of the sand slightly overhanging on this nice black border here, which I'll have running along the entire edge of the build, except I will have clear pieces instead of black where the water is, just to show the depth of the water, as I think that would be really cool. But as we can see here, we got the back of the U-wing, more sand action, lots of plants, custom shore troopers that I bought from Jay's Little Things. These guys, highly detailed, though not the greatest customs, but they do work very well. And I also have the first palm tree of many that I'll have in this build. While I don't have many parts and this uses basically all of my palm tree pieces, I will be getting more for the rest of the build, as well as experimenting with different sizes, as well as variations of the palm tree. And directly behind that, there's taller tower, while there's missing another light. In Battlefront 2, you can see these giant light poles by the landing pads where I guess they would light up the whole landing bay at night if need be. I won't be doing that. It'd be very difficult to get cables up there, and I don't have the right types of resources to do so. Now moving on to the back section of these two builds. As you can see, I use a lot of filler brick just underneath the sand here, as it helps save parts that I'll be using later in the build, as well as you can see more of the plants and how I'll connect future into the later builds. As well as, if you look over here, we have a snot technique, which I used for the entire landing pad, as well as I have places for Technic connectors on each base plate, so then I can take apart each plate and it splits apart, so I have a nice easy connection, and if need be I can take apart each base plate and store it in a smaller area. Now looking at a better view of this snot technique here, as you can see it attaches along this black edge here of the gray pieces and then goes underneath the sand here just so it's nice and smooth and form-fitting, and then this dark tan or tiles as well as pieces run along the edge here to make this nice seam, as well as I have this section here facing the other way, also sideways, to create these sideways lines and create a nice smooth surface across the entire landing pad, even though it has a couple of these small gaps that I'm not entirely sure how to get rid of. But other than that, it looks amazing. And I'm also using leaf elements to help hold all these dark green pieces that LEGO had at the store. Amazing parts. So these are, I'll be using as like my design for all the bushes, and also just small ferns and leafy plants. And then I will have many more stormtroopers, not just shore troopers, as in the movie Rogue One there is a good variety between a mix. And to round off this week's episode, I do want to say thank you to all of my supporters and subscribers who have stuck around for the many months that I've had my channel open, as greatly appreciated for all of you guys for being here, as well as just happy to see that people enjoying the content, and it helps me want to keep building this and moving on in the future steps. But till then, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for community posts as well as shorts that I'll be making of future base plates. And comment down below your thoughts on what you think of the build so far, any suggestions or ideas, and maybe even minifigures you want to see in the build, or your own minifigure that you'd like to see. Drop a comment down below. Thanks again for watching. This has been Rogue Brick. I'll see you next time. Peace.